So we've talked about how to access the book and how to manage your classes. But most importantly, what do we want to figure out? Resources. So when you log into the text and you don't navigate over to manage classes, it'll default to something that looks like this. And you can see here I have chapter 1 and section 1. And if I were to expand this out, it'll go ahead and show me what those titles mean. So here we have the table of contents for the entire text. And over here, as we click on these different chapters, the chapter overview and sections change. And if I wanted to find out, for example, what was in section 1 and available to me, I could click on that and these lesson resources would pop up. Now, these icons stand for things. For example, these are worksheets and these are checks. So think of like mini assessments. ABC, vocab. This here would be a presentation, right? So we can access the resources for that section that way and go ahead and click on our different classes and assign them. But you can see here, like there's no scheduled lesson plans, there's no assignments due, and there's no SmartBook assignments due. Now, me personally, I like to see everything in one place. It's just like how I like to shop. So if I were to click on resources in this menu, what I like to see is everything in one place. And so much so that I don't even want to see 12 results per page. I want to go ahead and change this baby to 48, right? I want to see all the shoes in one place. I don't want to scroll through. That's my style. Now, everybody can do what they want, but what you can do is like this is looking at all of the things that are available. But if I go ahead and click on this, over here, it's just going to show me the 2 checks that are available, as opposed to all the resources. So I'll go ahead and click back so you can see that. So here, it'll show you that in this section, forces of chapter 3, forces and Newton's laws, that there are 2 checks, there's 2 labs, there's a lesson presentation, we can take a look at the science notebook, there's the SmartBook, vocab, and worksheets. So that's in that section. And the other thing I want to point out to you is that in the chapter overview, there's some other resources too. So don't skip over that. You'll see like directed reading pieces, web quests, and all sorts of other things, right? So don't forget to check on that. And then you can obviously go through and like, let's say you want to make an assessment or actually assign an assessment. We could do that through there. So, Kaylin, how do I assign it to my specific classes? Because that's what you're wondering. Great, I saw the assignment, I like it. So let's go back to, let's say, chapter 1, because that's where we're maybe starting out the year. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to go on the methods of science, and maybe you want to do this like the first couple days of school. So here we have 48 pages of, or 48 results on this page of things I can assign. And I really like this. I like the idea of this brain pop video, right? Now, one of the things that I like about this platform is that if I click on this little gear icon, I can get the details about the resource and I can get the standards without fully opening it. It's like when you're shopping and you do that quick shop, right? I don't necessarily know if I like it yet. Is it patent leather? Is it suede, right? So here I can go ahead and I can click on the details and I see, oh, Tim and Moby are going to explain scientific methods. Interesting, okay. And I can also go ahead and check the standards. And it shows me which standards it's going to apply to, which I really like that as well. But now I want to go ahead and assign it, right? Well, because we're a Google district, you have 2 options on this. You might want to turn around and just share this straight to Google Classroom, right? Instead of assigning it within the McGraw-Hill platform. So if I were to do that, I click Share with Google Classroom, it's going to pop up, open. I'm going to choose my class. Obviously, I have lots of different random classes here, but you would have your class periods, and you can go ahead and share that straight to Classroom. So that's a really beneficial tool. But let's say you wanted to use the McGraw-Hill platform. If we went ahead and clicked on that gear icon again, and I say assign this resource. Okay, so Now, this is where I put in an assignment name, right? I go ahead and I have a start date, I have a due date, I have an expiration date, right? Meaning like the assignment is gone at that point. So maybe you have some for latecomers, right? But I can go ahead and I can change the classes that I want to assign to. In this situation, like I showed you before, I only have one student in there because it is a fake class. But let's say I wanted to assign it to everybody in this class period. All I do is I click this little checkbox right here that's next to student, and it'll assign it to everyone in the class. And so here's the assignment. Maybe it's brain pop video, right? And the instructions are please watch the attached video and maybe I want them to do the quiz at the end of the brain pop, right? That's an option. And be prepared to share one thing you've learned. Right? So if that's my instructions to the students, and I can go ahead and change the font size, the color, and have all sorts of fun with that. But the start date on this is, let's say we're going back to school, right? So I'm going to move this forward and I'm going to say, oh, I'll make this up. I want it assigned on the 16th and it's going to be due on the 17th. And for me, this is going to expire, let's say, at the end of the week, right? I'll give them to the 19th for extended time. And I go ahead and I hit assign. And so it says it's been assigned. And I can go back and view the assignment details, right? And I can see whether Jennifer has submitted it yet. So that's one way to assign materials. So let's go ahead and go back. And we can even see in this assignment tracker, I could make an assignment straight from there. So I'll go back to the menu so we can just make sure we know where we could access those things from the start, right? So what we had just done is we went to resources, right? And that's how we assigned material there. The other option from resources that I just want to share with you is through a keyword search. So maybe you know what you're looking for, right? You're looking for something on variables, right? And I could go ahead and type that in and hit search, right? And these are all of the things that have to do with variables, right? And there's 2 pages of 48 results. Or maybe I want to find something on potential energy, right? And I just go ahead and search that. And again, I have all of these resources available to me. And I can go ahead and check them out. And if I click on this, it's going to pop up and I can watch this video, right? These reading essentials. What I also like about looking for things like this, as I'm planning ahead, maybe I go ahead and I like this and I go ahead and star it, right? I really like that. I want to make sure I don't forget that, right? That's a favorite. And, I really like this, reading essentials thing, and I'm going to star that. So what these things are doing, if you notice, they're going up into my favorites, which is really helpful, okay? Again, like that shopping thing, right? It's like adding it to your cart and maybe saving it for later. So I like that aspect, and that's really interesting. So let's go back to the lesson search tab. And again, like I said, there's all of these types of resources available to you. That's one way. Another way would be to go into assignment tracker, right? And here I am, I want to see, like, do I have too many assignments for the kids? What's going on this week? And I'm like, oh, wow, no, I need to make another assignment. I can do that right through there too. So I can click make an assignment. And when we say attach resources, I could go ahead and even attach my own resources, right? Here are my files. I could upload assignable files. That's one option. But I can also go in that search. So remember I was searching for potential energy before? Maybe this time I'm going to search for magnetism, right? And let's see what comes up. So I have a reading on this. right? Electricity and magnetism. These are Spanish readings. And if I go ahead and I find, and here we have, let's see if we can find the English version, but that would be helpful too if I have ELL students, right? But here I have, let's say, this reinforcement on magnetism. I can go ahead and add that right to the thing, and I can hit done. And here we go, and that's in our assignment resources. And again, just like we did before, I put the assignment name, instructions, and so on and so forth. So that is one way, another way to make an assignment. And then let me show you this too, because I thought this was super cool. In this plan and present here, I love how if I was planning in advance to see what was available to me, again, I'm a huge fan of having everything in one place. It's really actually important to me. So I could start to create some lessons right from this plan and present. I'll go back to, let's say, the chapter we were looking at before on motion or forces, let's say. And if I do that and I go to section 1, forces, it's going to show me in a lesson sequence what's available. And I think this is super cool, right? Rather than just search random resources, this is what McGraw-Hill is suggesting. Here's the reading preview. Here's how you could tie to their prior knowledge. This is the section focus. Maybe ask this question. Here's all the things that are available to teach with, the actual teaching. So whether kids are visual or you want to make a model and there's an active reading piece. I really, really enjoy this. This is like that teacher wraparound that you're looking for, right? Here's a demo, mini labs, more demos, assessments, like how would we do that? And they're built right in here. And just like I showed you before, we could assign this right with that gear icon or share it straight to Google Classroom. So I think that that's super helpful. Now, I want to also share one other thing with you really quickly. Let's say this is too fast and you need a little bit more time to play, or you need some additional help on how to find resources and assign them. If you click on help here in McGraw-Hill Education, it's going to pop up in this digital technical support, okay? And if I go ahead and click where it says teachers getting started, product navigation, and I navigate over to high school science, and for you 8th grade teachers, that would be a high school course, right? So we're going to click on high school. And I'm going to go ahead and hit start here, right? Or plan and present, or dashboard navigation. We talked about class management. Just don't add kids to it. But if I go to plan and present, here's what's really nice. There's some videos here on the planner overview, lesson plans, the assignment tracker that we just talked about. So if you need some additional support there, please don't hesitate to click on that help tab, okay? So we've looked at how to manage our classes, we've looked at resources, we looked at the assignment tracker. We didn't look at the calendar, but we could definitely do that. And if we click on that, all that's gonna do is show you in your calendar where you have assignments, right, posted for students. So that is helpful, and you can also add events and PDF them. And here, remember we talked about you having your own files. So if you wanted to upload some sort of worksheet or some sort of PDF that you wanted to assign to your students, that's where you would find them, and we could upload them, right? Select the file, upload it, and have those accessible too. So that's very helpful. We talked about plan and present, and when we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about assessment and grading. So I hope that was helpful, and stay tuned for the next video.